जय श्री माताजी। ऑनलाइन उपस्थित विश्व के सभी साधकों का सुबह के ध्यान सत्र में हार्दिक स्वागत है। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी को वंदन करके हम सब ध्यान की स्थिति में बैठते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी आज का ध्यान सत्र शुरू करने की कृपया अनुमति प्रदान कीजिए। सामूहिक बंधन। अपना चित्त हृदय में लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी कृपावंत होकर आप हमारे हृदय में विराजिए। श्री माताजी कृपा कर हमारा हृदय प्रेम, करुणा और वात्सल्य से भर दीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी आपकी कृपा में हम केवल शुद्ध आत्मा हैं। तीन महामंत्र तत्पश्चात श्री गणेश मंत्र।
त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महामाया
जय श्री माता जी। संतुलन करने हेतु अपना राइट हैंड पृथ्वी तत्व पर रखते हैं। अपना चित्त ईड़ा नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के ईड़ा नाड़ी पर तमोगुण के सभी बाधक तत्व भूमि तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा आकर सामूहिकता की ईड़ा नाड़ी शुद्ध कर दीजिए। राइट हैंड गोद में, लेफ्ट हैंड आकाश की तरफ। अपना चित्त पिंगला नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के पिंगला नाड़ी पर रजोगुण के सभी बाधक तत्व, अतिरिक्त उष्णता, भविष्य के विचार, अहंकार आकाश तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर सामूहिकता की पिंगला नाड़ी शुद्ध कर दीजिए। लेफ्ट हैंड गोद में। अपना चित्त मध्य नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा आकर हमें संतुलन दीजिए, हमें वर्तमान में रखिए। अपना चित्त मूलाधार चक्र पर लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के मूलाधार चक्र पर श्री गणेश जी की शक्ति जागृत कीजिए, कार्यान्वित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें अबोध बनाइए, हमें सुबुद्धि दीजिए। चित्त मूलाधार पर श्री कुंडलिनी गौरी माता साक्षात। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कुंडलिनी गौरी माता साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। अपना चित्त स्वाधिष्ठान चक्र पर लाते हैं। नाभि चक्र पर लाते हैं। भवसागर, अनाहत चक्र, विशुद्धि चक्र, हंस चक्र, आज्ञा, सहस्रार, परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपावंत होकर आप हमारे सहस्रार पर विराजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारा आत्म साक्षात्कार दृढ़ कीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें निर्विचारिता प्रदान कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें निर्विचार निर्विकल्प ध्यान में स्थित कीजिए। जय श्री माता जी। इसी ध्यान की स्थिति में अमृतवाणी आत्मसात करते हैं। श्री गुरु पूजा 1997 भाग पहला।
Today's puja is very important for us. You all have got your self-realization. You have all the knowledge that is necessary to give realizations to others. You have to know what you have already. That's very important. Because if you do not try your hand, and if you do not try to give realizations to others, firstly, you will have no faith in yourself. You will have no self-esteem also. The second part is that you try giving vibrations to other persons, but don't get involved with that person. I have seen some people get too much involved. If they give realization to one person, they think they have done a great job, and they start working on that person, his family, his relations. So far as you must have learned, that one may be related, one may be closer to one person, but not necessarily he will have that much of chance of self-realization. Only way to grow is to be collective. There's no other way out. If people think that by staying away from ashrams, alone living somewhere, they will achieve much, that's not the way Sahajayoga is meant. Formerly, people used to go to Himalayas, and most of them were separated, and only 1 or 2 persons were chosen for spiritual growth. Here it is not question of spiritual growth. It is a question of your collectivity growing in you. That is how you become a person who is collective, who enjoys collective, who works on collective and lives with collective. Such a person develops new kind of powers. And these powers are such that they are very subtle, but they penetrate into any molecule, atom, or human beings anywhere. And their penetration is only possible if you have a temperament which is collective. Without being fully collective, you cannot achieve that height which is very necessary today for Sahajayoga. As you know, there are problems and problems all over, as if we feel that the world is going to sink. Especially when I went to America, I felt that, my goodness, this is a hell that they have created here. It's just a hell because they have no dharma. They don't believe in any dharma. Completely they worship adharma. And this kind of climate is flowing all over. All over the world you get reaction of American adharmic life. And people think there's nothing wrong in it. Whatever you may tell them, they will not believe, nor they will think that there's any worth it. But they don't see the destruction from the very basis of their life, their families, their societies, the whole country, I feel, is filled with such ugly type of adharmi nature that one cannot even imagine how such ideas came into their heads. And these ideas I need not tell you, you know them very well. But if you have to save your children, you have to be an ideal guru yourself. If you just talk of Sahajayoga and if you try to assume that you are a Sahajogi, also you try to propagate Sahajayoga without all these powers being awakened in you, it would be a failure. So how to develop these powers within us, we should see. It's rather embarrassing for me to tell you how you have to behave towards your guru. I think people have told you. But naturally, spontaneously, as soon as you get your realization and grow in it, naturally you develop a very humble attitude. Also, an attitude through which you achieve lots of qualities of your guru. Now, supposing the guru is at particular height, and if you try to go onto the same height, nothing will move towards you. So, you must sit at a place which is much lower than the guru's is. Some people take too much advantage of my good nature, I should say. And so many people have pointed out to me that you must correct these people, they talk to you at equal level and all that. I said they will learn a lesson. They will learn a lesson. But sometimes it doesn't work out. And they start talking on the same manner as if you are talking to your friend or to your equal. First is complete humility. You have to be a humble person, extremely humble. Now you check on that. When you talk to others, are you humble? When you think of others, are you humble? When you look after your wife and children, are you humble? That's a very important thing for every person who thinks he is a guru. Humility is the first quality, or I should say the ocean, into which you must jump. Some people think that if you are humble mother, then people will take advantage of you. Nobody can take advantage of you. Because you have to remember another point, that you are protected all the time, looked after by Param Chaitanya. I know you know that, but how many really believe that there is Param Chaitanya with us? If you really believe that there is Param Chaitanya, then you don't get frightened, you don't get worried. You are not subjected to all kinds of nonsensical ideas also. But if you think that you are not protected, what will happen, how will things happen, then Param Chaitanya leaves you alone. You have to see the whole drama, how Param Chaitanya works out. How it works out, how you are behaving. Supposing you are not in a proper shape and you try to show off too much, then what happens? Then you get the reward for it. Not that I do anything, but it's the Param Chaitanya, which will teach you a lesson that you will remember, that you should have been little different from what you have been. After all, we have to know why have we come to Sahajayoga. Begin at the root of it. We have come to Sahajayoga because we wanted to know the absolute truth. And this absolute truth has been now known to you through your vibrations. You know it through your vibrations what is the absolute truth. And you should work everything on that line, that absolute truth, whatever you feel on your vibrations, you have to follow. But unfortunately, I've seen many people think that their vibrations are all right, they are all right, and whatever they are receiving on their vibrations is first class. Now, how to correct that point is very difficult. It comes from ego. When you have ego, you can never find anything wrong with you. And even if the vibrations are telling you something, it might be somebody else who is telling you something. Because you are not there, your ego is there. And your ego is just spoiling you and teaching you things which normally you would see clearly that I am doing something wrong. I should not have done it. In this process of correction and improvement, when you indulge, you should see, are you getting subtler or grosser? That is the best way to judge. Now I have seen people who go on judging on small things like vibrations, whether this vibration are all right or not in this tree, or on these flowers, or on this land. All kinds of material things they want to see the vibrations. But for what are you seeing the vibration? You are seeing vibration because some sort of a material gain. You think that if you check the vibrations and the vibrations are all right, then we are quite safe. We will not lose this, we will not lose that. It's not true, because vibrations are not meant to judge all these worldly things and worldly matters. It's absolutely cheapening the vibrations. You should not cheapen them. Because vibrations can suggest things which may be detrimental to your growth very much. Once I wanted somebody to go somewhere, so he said, I didn't go, mother. I said, why? Because I saw the vibrations were very bad. I said, that's why I asked you to go. If the vibrations were good, what was your use going there? That's the reason I asked you to go there, so that you could help. But before that, you judged yourself, judged your vibrations, and then you didn't want to go. So what happens? We want to have an easy, cozy life. And all our problems must be solved by Sahajayoga, otherwise we think Sahajayoga is of no use. Whatever is our desire must be fulfilled. So now the desires are mostly personal. My child is not well, so the child should go. My husband is misbehaving, the husband should go all right. Or I have no house, so I must get a house. See how we are moving our mind. It's still on a very consumer society, as they call it. We are all the time thinking now, I should have a son now instead of a girl, and you get a son, then you blame Sahajayoga for that. Anything that according to your desire doesn't work out, then you think it's Sahajayoga which has done the harm, and you are suffering because of Sahajayoga. Or this faith in Sahajayoga gets little moving, or we can say in a way, it's not that deep. But if you are deeply embedded in Sahajayoga, then what happens? What may come, I will be a Sahajayogi. Supposing somebody dies. Normally in Sahajayoga, it's difficult for people to die also, I must tell you. Even if they want to die, they can't die. It's the Parama Chaitanya which decides for you. But supposing you take up a position like that, still you must know that that wish may not be fulfilled. If that is not fulfilled, then you feel disturbed and you think what's wrong. But your wish is not the wish of God Almighty. While Param Chaitanya is the wish of God Almighty. Now, for example, I went to America, take it like this, and America attacked me, negativity, and troubled me. For all these days I have suffering, so-called. And I've had pain, I've had all kinds of things. But that I had to do. Because now the American Sahajogis will realize how much one has to pay to make this dumb head of Americans to rise. How stupid they are and how foolish they are who are enamored by people who are taking money. So many people came to me and told me, Mother, if you start saying that this I can give for $300, you will get 1,000 and 1,000 of disciples of yours. I said, they will not be my disciples. If they come for money, thinking that because I am taking money, it is worthy something, that means they are absolutely stupid. Sahajayoga, you cannot get it by money. This is the first principle they don't understand. Most of them don't understand that you can get self-realization without paying any money. There were some Gujarati rich people in New Jersey, and they asked questions to Sahajogis that how is it possible to get it so easily? It's not possible because it's a very difficult thing. All the Shastras have said, everybody has said, very difficult to get your realization. All right. If so, how is it you are giving it so easily? Why? Nobody knew how to answer these people. You should have said like this, all right. It is difficult, it's very difficult. And you cannot give mass, true. But if somebody is doing it, then you have to think about it. How somebody is doing it. So this kind of stupid questions are there, and still if they go on, you have to really tell them in a very humble way, sir, one has to be worthy also. So they will run after people who are just making money out of them, making fool out of them. And they boast, we have 3 gurus, somebody says we have 7 gurus. But I wonder what must be their condition. So the people who are extremely stupid, in Sanskrit they call mood, people who are brainless, cannot get their realization. So give them up. If they are arguing with you, you just give them up. It's not their right to argue with you. Their right is to get realization, but not a right to argue with you, ask you foolish questions and stupid questions. But you should always remember that with that humility, you must have your dignity intact, because you are a guru. Once you know you are a guru, one thing should be there, that you will not behave like a joker all the time. Your behavior will be dignified. At the same time, it would be very pleasant face or a pleasant personality. It won't be annoying type. Your personality itself will suggest that there's something special about you. Now, how do you develop that kind of a personality? The biggest problem in the West is ego. And the biggest problem in the East is superego. Now this ego business, I don't know from where it has come. In all walk of life, they show how egoistical they are. For example, I went to America and I was surprised that there is a racial problem and the blacks are treated in a different manner and the whites in a different manner. I mean, color is given by God, and somebody has to be black and white. If everybody looked the same, it will look like a regiment. There should be some variety, there should be some change in the face, and also in the expression. One has to be a person carrying better or different expressions. Otherwise, you will be bored with such a world where there is everybody looks the same, just the same. But so much of racialism there that I was surprised that how it has worked into human mind. So, as a guru, you must develop a complete detest for racialism. Complete detest. That's very easy to understand. That anybody who has fair complexion could be a cruelest man, cruelest woman, and could be a cruelest mother also. And the one who is black could be very kind, generous. It doesn't go with the color. Temperament doesn't go with the color. But because the blacks have been ill-treated so much that they react. And they react naturally, sometimes in such a manner that it is very crude and very cruel. But this kind of attention, this kind of you can say a wrong type of attitude towards human beings, even towards animals, they won't bear it. So towards human beings to have such an attitude itself shows that you are not worthy of Sahajayoga at all. So any one of you who has such a feeling that somebody is black and somebody is white cannot be a guru in Sahajayoga. Then in India we have caste system, equally bad and horrible. It has no sense in it, no basis whatsoever. But in India we have people who believe that some castes are higher and some castes are lower. Every caste people can do all the worst possible things. There is no demarcation for them, and every low caste can be very, very good. We have had many great poets and Sufis in the lowest caste in India. These castes are man-made. You know, man-made cloth doesn't suit us. And all these man-made ideas are not going to suit us, and it will lead us to a great I wouldn't know discretion, but I would say to a complete destruction. Because hatred begets hatred, and it goes on increasing and increasing. If you cannot get rid of your hatred, then I would say you are not a Sahajayoga. These are all conditionings. You are born in a white family, so you are white. You are born in a Christian family, that's why you are Christian. You are born in a Jew family, that's why you are a Jew. All this is just because you are born in that. But does that mean that you are higher or lower? All the problems of the world today, if you see, are because of human attachment to nonsensical ideas of superiority. Only through collective living will change. For example, I would say, in an ashram we should have all colored people living together with the equal rights, with the equal understanding and love and affection. If that is not there, no use calling it an ashram. Once they asked me, Mother, will you come and give a lecture in Harlem? I said, why not? So some Sahajayogi said, Harlem? Mother, do you know what is Harlem? I said, I know. There's no harm. He said, you know, the blacks are there and I said, I'm also black. You could call me black or you can call me white. But the love is such a thing, you see. Love is such a thing that cleanses all these ridiculous ideas we have about other people. To brand anyone as black and white shows that you have no eyes to see. Any person with depth, any person with loving heart cannot see these superficial things, cannot see. Today is a day where we are celebrating the Guru's greatness. Now look at all the Gurus, how they were, how they behaved. We have many in India and many others, many Sufis in other countries. These Sufis or these saints that we had never believed in any caste system, never believed in black and white. Christ, he never believed in black and white. Buddha never believed in black and white. Nobody believed in any kind of man-made ideas. These are all man-made ideas which we have accepted, and even after realization we try to carry on with them. Now by saying we do not get rid of it, but acting we can. Just see how we work out these stupid ideas within us and how we can get rid of them. Very simply is, in meditation you should sit down and see how many people you love. And why do you love? Not out of pity, but just with love, how much you care for others. I have seen some very, very beautiful examples of that. But still I must say that there are certain fixed ideas which are to be dislodged completely. Very important for every person who is a guru in Sahajayoga. Means he has to be a clean-hearted, open-hearted, loving-hearted fellow. His heart should play the tune of Param Chaitanya. If his heart is full of all these man-made ideas, I don't know what will happen. Even when they transplant the heart, they cannot do it with the man-made. They have to use a real natural one. So you can imagine when you try to take to all these odd ideas are just divisive. They will never give you collectivity. So introspection has to be made. Are we one, or we are judging each other? Now the judgment is quite a lot also. Now all this can be seen only when you live together. Otherwise, how will you know? When you start living together, you start discovering what is missing in you, what is not there, what has to be there. It is so peaceful to have a heart which is full of love, because every movement of that heart is so much joy-giving, so much joy-giving. There's a story of Sri Rama that he ate the berries, a kind of fruit, which were first tested by an old lady with such love. It shows what? Shows that a person like Sri Ram was the king of the highest heritage, and this old lady who was just of the lowest caste gives him these fruits with such love. And when he eats that, he starts praising it. So his wife says, "Give me some." It's all right. But the brother is still halfway, I think, in Sahajayoga. So he doesn't like. He gets angry. Then she eats and she says, "Brother-in-law, it's wonderful fruit, I must say." He says, "All right, give me some." He says, "Why should I give you now? But first you were very much angry, so why should I give you these fruits to eat?" The story shows that the level of your personality as Guru is judged by your clean heart, by your loving heart, by your highest remarkable personality. In the personality, it is not something that is to be built in artificially. It is not artificial. It is natural, absolutely natural. Whatever you do has to be natural. So this artificiality of certain ways of talking or certain ways of living together creates problem. For example, we had an ashram in America, in New York, and there was a lady who was very strict. Everything should be tip-top, it should be here, the spoons must be there, and the forks should be here, and all sorts of things. And she hurt many people. Not important. These cultural, I can call it the taboos, are not important in Sahajayoga. Because now you have become a guru. Guru can stay anywhere, live anywhere, eat anything, anytime. That should be the case. But also I have seen in Sahajayoga, there are many who are very anxious to eat food as soon as it is served. Once it happened, I was there, they had served the food. And just they started removing the plates. I said, "What's the matter? I have to eat food." "Oh, you haven't not eaten, mother?" "No, I haven't just touched it even." So you see, sort of, first is the very lowest type of, we should say, desire is the hunger. Now, a guru doesn't bother. Whatever you give, all right. Whatever you want not to give, all right. Even if you don't give, is all right. But one has to develop that by killing your ego. People feel very hurt if you serve them little later than another person. There's all kinds of funny things I've seen in Sahajayoga. On the contrary, it is the lowest type of, I should say, a desire. We should not be very much catered to if you want to be a real guru.
जय श्री माता जी। श्री आदि शक्ति मंत्र। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री आदि शक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवै नमो नमः। आरती की तैयारी करते हैं।
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, जय निर्मल माताजी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, जय निर्मल माताजी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने लिए अवतार माँ, कितने लिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा। तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, जय निर्मल माताजी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको माँ, सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ। लौट के ना जाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्के साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्के साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। बोलो श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आज का ध्यान हम आपके श्री चरणों में समर्पित करते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारे अंदर गुरु तत्व प्रस्थापित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें परम चैतन्य से आशीर्वादित कीजिए। हमारे अंदर धर्म की स्थापना कीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें आदर्श सहजयोगी गुरु बनाइए, हमें विनम्र बनाइए, हमें सद्गुण संपन्न बनाइए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें सत्ता, संपत्ति, भौतिक सुख, दिखावटीपना से अलिप्त रखिए। वैयक्तिक इच्छा से हमें दूर रखिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें जाति भेद, रंग भेद से अलिप्त रखिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें गुरु पद के लिए पात्रता दीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपके श्री आदि गुरु दत्तात्रेय स्वरूप को हम हृदय से वंदन करते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपके श्री चरणों पर हमारा कोटि कोटि नमन, कोटि कोटि नमन, अनंत कोटि नमन। जय श्री माता जी। सामूहिक बंधन लेते हैं। जय श्री माता जी। आज के कार्यक्रम आज शाम 5:30 बजे श्री आदि गुरु पूजा के अवसर पर अमृतसर पंजाब से हवन की प्रस्तुति होगी प्रतिष्ठान पुणे यूट्यूब चैनल पर। आज का ध्यान सत्र यहीं पे संपन्न होता है। अब हम सहज संगीत का आनंद लेते हैं। आज का दिन सबके लिए आनंदमय मंगलमय रहे। जय श्री माता जी।
हमारी वंदना स्वीकार करो, माँ हमारी वंदना स्वीकार करो। कृपा करो भव से हमको पार करो, कृपा करो भव से हमको पार करो। माँ हमारी वंदना स्वीकार करो, माँ हमारी वंदना स्वीकार करो, स्वीकार करो। निर्मल विद्या हमें देकर निर्मल हमको माँ करो, निर्मल विद्या हमें देकर निर्मल हमको माँ करो। कुंडलिनी को जगा कर माँ स्वयं का गुरु हमें बनावो, भरपूर हमको तृप्ति कराओ। भरपूर हमको तृप्ति कराओ। माँ इतनी विनती सुनो, माँ हमारी वंदना स्वीकार करो, माँ हमारी वंदना स्वीकार करो, स्वीकार करो। हृदय कमल में आकर माँ प्रेम भाव हम में भरो, हृदय कमल में आकर माँ प्रेम भाव हम में भरो। साक्षी हमें बनाकर माँ तुम्हारी लीला हमें दिखाओ। सब पाप दोष माफ करके सब दोष माफ करके सहस्रार में विराजो माँ हमारी वंदना स्वीकार करो। माँ हमारी वंदना स्वीकार करो। कृपा करो भव से हमको पार करो। कृपा करो भव से हमको पार करो। माँ हमारी वंदना स्वीकार करो। माँ हमारी वंदना स्वीकार करो, स्वीकार करो। जयति आदिशक्ति हे अम्बे, जयति आदिशक्ति हे अम्बे, जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे। जयति आदिशक्ति हे अम्बे, जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे। जयति आदिशक्ति हे अम्बे। स्वरूप ज्ञान की दाता, शुद्ध विद्या वरदान की दाता। गुरु स्वरूप ज्ञान की दाता, शुद्ध विद्या वरदान की दाता। सहज योग की जननी माँ तुम, सहज योग की जननी माँ तुम। प्रेम की सुंदर प्रतिमा माता, तव चरणन में नमन है अम्बे, अम्बे। तव चरणन में नमन है अम्बे। जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे, जयति आदिशक्ति है अम्बे। जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे, जयति आदिशक्ति है अम्बे। हम तुम्हारे बच्चे बड़ भागी, तब चरणन से लो जो लागी। हम तुम्हारे बच्चे बड़ भागी, तब चरणन से लो जो लागी। तेरे प्रेम की हुई जो वर्षा, तेरे प्रेम की हुई जो वर्षा। सोई हुई कुंडलिनी जागी, जागी। तव चरणन में नमन है अम्बे, अम्बे। तव चरणन में नमन है अम्बे। जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे, हे जयति आदिशक्ति हे अम्बे। जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे, जयति आदिशक्ति हे अम्बे। आज गुरु का पूजन करते, तन मन धन सब अर्पित करते। आज गुरु का पूजन करते, तन मन धन सब अर्पित करते। भक्ति भाव से तव चरणन में श्रद्धा सुमन समर्पित करते, तव चरणन में नमन है अम्बे अम्बे, तव चरणन में नमन है अम्बे। जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे, जयति आदिशक्ति है अम्बे। जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे, जयति आदिशक्ति है अम्बे। मन भी तेरे तन भी तेरा, ये सारा जीवन भी तेरा। मन भी तेरे तन भी तेरा, ये सारा जीवन भी तेरा। तेरी शरण में आ गए हम तो, तेरी शरण में आ गए हम तो, और नहीं कोई अपना डेरा। जयति आदिशक्ति है अम्बे, तव चरणन में नमन है अम्बे अम्बे, तव चरणन में नमन है अम्बे। जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे, जयति आदिशक्ति है अम्बे। जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे, जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे, जयति निर्मल माँ जगदम्बे।